You ever look in the mirror and think, why are my legs still skinny even though I train? Here's the truth most people never hear. 90% of lifters are doing leg exercises in a way that never actually targets the muscles that make legs look strong and athletic. If your quads aren't growing, your glutes aren't popping, and your lower body looks like it skipped gym day, it might not be your genetics, it might just be your form. Before we fix it, let me hit you with this. Most people bend, push, and squat with their legs like they're just moving weight from A to B, instead of making the muscles actually work. And that tiny difference is the reason why some people grow fast, and others stay stuck with chicken legs no matter how many reps they do. I'm going to show you how to change that today. But first, let's expose the biggest mistake everyone makes on the first exercise: the squat. People think squatting is simple. Bend down, stand up, repeat. But here's the problem. Most people dump the weight into their lower back and joints instead of loading the muscles that should be growing. If your knees cave in, if your heels lift even a little, or if your torso folds forward like a closing pocket knife, your quads and glutes barely get any stimulus at all. Let's compare. Picture a skyscraper. If the foundation is weak, the building can't rise tall. Your legs are the same. When the core isn't engaged, the hips shift, the knees roll in, and the power leaks out of your legs instantly. So instead of building muscle, you're just teaching your body how to survive the movement without improving. Now imagine the opposite. Feet planted like roots, knees tracking the direction of your toes, core tight like you're bracing for a punch. Suddenly, your body becomes a stable structure that transfers all the force right into the muscles that actually grow. The difference between those two squats isn't inches, it's results. I want you to pause for a second and think, how many reps have you done with form that wasn't truly helping you? Hundreds? Thousands? What if improving one tiny cue could make every rep count 10x more? That's what we're about to start unlocking. In a moment, I'll walk you step by step into the right squat mechanics, the kind that turn legs from no progress to noticeable change. But before we get into that, here's the final piece of the puzzle: your intention. If your mind isn't directing the tension into the muscle, your body just takes the easiest path, and the easy path doesn't build legs. So before we move on, ask yourself, next time you squat, are you just trying to stand up, or are you trying to make your legs work? Because that difference is everything. You ever catch yourself looking in the mirror and thinking, why are my legs still skinny even though I train? That's a hard truth moment almost every lifter has at some point. When you realize your upper body is improving but your quads still look flat, your hamstrings aren't defined, and your glutes aren't rounding out the way you want. And here's the thing most people never hear. 90% of people who train legs are doing the movements in a way that fails to actually force the muscles to grow. They're not weak, they're not lazy, they just never learned how to make the exercise hit the right muscles. It's like trying to build a house but using a hammer to stir concrete. You can be working hard, but if the tool isn't used correctly, the effort doesn't pay off. Before we fix anything, let me say something that might sting a little. Most leg exercises that people do look more like moving weight from point A to point B, rather than making the muscles do the job. They just try to finish the rep, not make the rep effective. And that small difference is exactly why some people grow faster in months than others grow in years. Today, we're going to change that. Let's start with the king of all leg movements, the squat. People treat the squat like this simple bend down stand-up move, but in reality, it's the easiest move to mess up without even knowing it. If you're squatting every week and your legs are still stuck in chicken mode, you're probably making one of the most common squat errors people don't realize they're doing. Think about your squat right now. When you go down, do your knees cave inward even a little? If your heels lift off the floor, even by a centimeter, if your torso folds forward like a notebook closing, if your hips shoot up before your chest does, congratulations, you're not squatting with your legs. You're squatting with your lower back, your joints, and whatever muscles your body can use to survive the movement rather than develop from it. Picture this like a skyscraper. A skyscraper isn't impressive because the top floor looks shiny. It's impressive because the foundation is solid, deep, and stable. Your squat is the same. If the foundation, your feet, your core, your hip alignment, is unstable, everything above it collapses. Your body stops thinking about muscle growth and starts thinking, how do I stop myself from falling over? And muscles do not grow under survival mode. They grow under tension, stable, intentional tension. Now imagine the opposite squat. Imagine planting your feet in the ground like they're growing roots. Imagine your knees tracking in the same direction as your toes, not fighting against them. Imagine bracing your core like someone is about to punch you in the stomach, not because you enjoy the idea, but because that core tension locks your body into the perfect position. Suddenly, you're no longer just standing up with weight. You've created a stable platform that transfers effort directly into your quads, glutes, hamstrings, exactly where the growth happens. And here's the crazy part. Two people can do a squat that looks identical from the outside, but one will get insane results while the other stays stuck. The difference isn't the weight, it's the cues. It's the intention. It's understanding how the body should move, not how we think it's moving. That's why so many people do thousands of reps and barely see progress. They're just accumulating reps instead of accumulating stimulus. Let me drop a small light bulb moment here. Many people think strength starts in the legs, but real lower body power starts in the midsection. Your core is the foundation that lets the legs push without losing form. Think of it like a bridge. If the ground under the bridge cracks, the bridge collapses. If your core isn't stable, your hips shift, your knees collapse inward, and instead of tension going into the muscles, it leaks out into the weakest part of the chain. Now think back, how many reps have you done with form that wasn't helping you? Hundreds, maybe thousands? What if fixing just one simple cue, like driving your big toe into the ground during the squat, immediately improved your stability and muscle activation? That's how small the change can be, but how massive the difference in results becomes. Another thing people misunderstand is the difference between just squatting and squatting to build muscle. When you squat just to stand up, your nervous system picks the easiest way to complete the movement with the least effort. When you squat to grow, you intentionally make the target muscles work, even if the movement feels harder, even if the weight you lift temporarily decreases. Because what builds muscle isn't ego, it's tension. Before I break down the exact squat mechanics in detail, I want to ask you something. The next time you squat, what's going to be your goal? To finish 10 reps or to make every one of those 10 reps count? Because that difference, just that mindset, can turn mediocre training into growth that people can physically see in your legs. You're not here just to go through the motions. You're here to build legs that command respect. Legs that look strong, athletic, and powerful. You ever look in the mirror and think, how are my legs still this skinny when I train consistently? It's frustrating. You're putting in the work, sweating through your sets, but your quads still look flat, your hamstrings don't pop, and your glutes aren't shaping the way you want. And here's a truth most people never hear. It's not always the workout that's failing. Most of the time, it's the way the exercises are being performed. You can be working hard, but if the muscles you want aren't actually carrying the load, the results stay the same. Let's start with the number one movement people mess up, the squat. On the surface, it looks simple: bend down, stand up. But most people don't realize how easily the body can cheat the movement without looking like it's cheating. If your knees fall inward, your heels lift even a little, or you find your chest dropping forward as you push back up, you might be squatting, but you're not training your legs. You're just surviving the motion. And muscles don't grow under survival mode. Think of your body like a skyscraper. The top floors only look impressive if the foundation is rock solid. If the ground shifts, the whole structure becomes unstable. Your legs are the same. If the feet, core, and hips aren't locked in, the body can't push through the legs efficiently. Instead, your body reroutes the force into joints and supporting muscles just to keep you from collapsing. So instead of training quads and glutes, you're training every muscle except the ones you actually want to grow. Now picture the opposite squat. Your feet push firmly into the ground, like roots digging into soil. Your knees track the same direction as your toes. Your core tightens, like bracing for a punch, not for pain, but to stabilize your entire frame. Suddenly, every ounce of force goes straight into the muscles that grow. Two people can perform a squat that looks identical from the outside, but one grows faster because they understand how to direct the tension. Here's a small light bulb moment. Leg strength doesn't start in the legs, it starts in the core. If the middle of your body is loose, the energy leaks out. If the core is solid, the lower body becomes a powerful system rather than just limbs pushing weight. That tiny shift, mindset plus mechanics, is what separates people who grow in months from people who see no change for years. And before we go deeper, ask yourself something. Next time you squat, will you just try to stand up? Or will you try to make your legs do the work? Because that difference turns an ordinary rep into a growth rep.